A very good morning to my dear students. After a long puja vacation, we are back again in our classroom. I hope all of you have enjoyed the puja with your family and friends very nicely and you are all in good health. So as per the normal life, we have to continue our classes. Before starting of the class, I would like to congratulate all of you for your excellent performance in the September test. Now all of you have come to know that our next test will be in the month of February. I am not discussing now about the syllabus. Afterwards we will discuss in detail about the syllabus as it is not finalized yet the marks of the test in the month of February. Whether it will be in of 80 or out of 40, it is not yet been finalized. So leaving that matter apart, we are going to start a new chapter. Its name is water. So water, nothing to tell about it in detail. What is water? Everyone of us know that what is water, because the other name of water is life. Why it is named as so? Because without water we can't be alive even a single day. From waking up in the morning till going to the bed at the night, in each and every moment we need water. In the morning when we get up from the bed, we wash our face, teeth with fresh water. Next we drink a clean glass of water for good health purpose. Next, whatever food is cooked, that is with the help of water. Then we take our bath and go get ready for our school, though it is not happening now, but still it is in the normal routine. We get ready for our school by taking a bath in a clean bucket full of water. Then we take our food, which is nothing but cooked with water, clean water. So from every moment, in each and every step of our life, water is essential. Not only for us, the plants. Without water, the plants around us will not survive. And every one of us know that without the survival of the plant, the human being or all other animals will also not survive. Because the plants are the main responsible for our life cycle over this earth. Now what is water made up of? All of us know that as we are studying chemistry, the chemical formula of water is H2O. H stands for hydrogen and O stands for oxygen. H is the symbol of hydrogen atom and O is the symbol of oxygen atom. So from the formula of water, it is very much clear to us that one molecule, that is termed as molecule H2O. What is molecule you already have studied, I am not repeating it again. One molecule of water is made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. So obviously this is not a mixture, this is a compound, because always 2 atoms of hydrogen will combine with 1 atom of oxygen. And from the definition of compound, you all know that the elements combined in a fixed ratio is known as a compound. Now what are the characteristics of water? Characteristics: generally colorless. Pure water is colorless. It starts boiling at 100 degrees Celsius temperature. It starts transforming into solid state at 0 degrees Celsius temperature. Rather it starts freezing at 4 degree, but pure ice is formed at 0 degrees Celsius temperature. It flows, the fluidity, this characteristics, it has also been taught in your previous classes. The fluidity, the characteristics of a liquid, this is a characteristics of a, or rather water. It flows from generally from higher place to lower place. Means in simple word, it flows from one place to another. Now, what about the water over the earth? We will discuss in detail about this. From the very early of our education part, we all know that the surface of the earth, or rather the earth is made up of 70% of water. You see that the land is very little over the map of the earth, but the more major part is occupied by the oceans and the seas. Think about India. In India, around three sides are surrounded by Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Arabian Sea, and the Bay of Bengal. Likewise, 70% of this surface of the earth is occupied by water. So from where this water is coming, there are two sources. First of all, the rainwater. As there are many plants over the earth, plants and trees over the earth, they are creating water vapors by the way of photosynthesis. This water vapor, when going up in the atmosphere, they are getting transformed into water droplets, and when the water droplets by the form of cloud, the cloud can't hold these water droplets, they're coming back again to the surface of the earth by the form of water. This water again coming back to the earth by the pores of the soil, again going to the center or the inner surface of the earth and creating the source, the underground source of water. The another source of water is just the water bodies. What are the water bodies? The water bodies are the land, the lakes, the ponds, the rivers, the seas, the oceans, all are the water bodies, which are the major source of water. Though all the sources of water are not usable, but still they create or they maintain the balance of the atmosphere. That is their importance. How they maintain the balance? Think about the surface of the ocean or the seas or the rivers or the ponds. Always from their surface, we have already discussed what takes place. Evaporation, the water evaporates up. Evaporating up or vaporizing up, rather it can be termed as vaporization, vapor formation. By the way of vapor formation, they moves into forms clouds and again bring back water over the surface of the earth. This not only supply the water over the surface of the earth, but also creates a balance of the temperature. If rainfall doesn't take place, what will happen? The temperature will obviously increase over our surface in the atmosphere. So by this way, the water balance is maintained. Now what happens? What is happening today? Unfortunately, by the name of urbanization or the improvement of civilization, many buildings are being formed over nearby your places. And the most unfortunate thing is that we are building the houses or multi-storied building in the hills and the mountains by destroying the trees and destroying the water cycle. What is the consequence? We are now living comfortably, but after a certain period of time, when there will be no more plants or trees around us, there will be no vaporization, no photosynthesis, no oxygen supply, and moreover, no supply of water vapor in the atmosphere. That is why all are being too much concerned about this, trying to create awareness among all the people of the society. But unfortunately, people having money too much, and destroying the trees randomly. Next is underground water. Another consequence of urbanization is we are covering the level of the ground. As a result, the pores are getting filled up, the pores of the soils getting filled up. So what is happening? The rainwater is not getting down into the underground. As a result, the layer of the underground water is going down day by day. What will happen? Suppose we are staying in this level. The water level is up to this portion. It is creating a humidity, maintaining the balance of the atmosphere, maintaining the temperature. Now what happens if the water level goes in this place? We will not, our pump will not get, the pipe will not get the level of the water. We will suffer from scarcity of water. Moreover, plants will not be able to reach the water level. Their roots will not be able to reach the water level. What will happen? Very common. The plants will dry up. There will be no more existence of the plants, and ultimately our earth will dry up. So this is the very much alarming situation for us. And if you open the newspaper every day, you will find that the major concern of us at this moment is the global warming and going down of the water level, groundwater level down day by day. So today up to this, students, very soon we will meet you again and we will discuss in detail more about this. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.